Hi, and welcome to Region Sportsdesk. This is our Week 6 recap.
Week 6.
I'm Joe Faley, JT Hoyle, and he's going to go ahead and start reading us the scores.
Okay, Joe, first things first. Rivalry game from the new Brickyard. Lowell defeating Hobart 35-0. It wasn't even a game, Joe.
It wasn't even a surprise.
Thought it'd be close for a little bit, but nah. Gruby also broke the Lowell rushing record in that game, so congratulations to him. Morton, crosstown rival Hammond. I think Morton's the best team at Hammond because they won 35-14. Hammond kept the game close for a while. Morton pulls away, third and fourth quarter. Congratulations to the Governors. What do you think about this game? Michigan City, Lake Central. City wins 21-13. Lake Central put up some kind of a fight.
Well, that's pretty bad considering we saw Lake Central play, and Lake Central was not a very good ball club. And if Michigan City's struggling with Lake Central, this could be something.
Well, they also were missing their quarterback.
But yeah, they also missed.
They're a different team without Washington back there, so they might have to be on upset alert this week. Who knows? Andrea and Highland, I told you they would shut out Highland. I was right, 28-0. What do you have to say to that?
I thought Highland would score.
Well, they didn't.
So they're just that bad.
They were never going to score in that game. Come on. Wheeler, I'm shocked.
Why are you
They
so
only
shocked?
put up 57 points against River Forest.
That's probably because they didn't want to score anymore. They felt bad. I think the coach is starting to get a soft heart for all these other schools that he's beating the living crap out of.
That's very good to hear. I'm glad. Wheeler, big win over River Forest. Clark comes back. They win 56-6 over your Bowman Academy Eagles.
Since when are they my Bowman Academy Eagle?
I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't really shocked. Bowman didn't really play anybody.
They really beat up on Chicago Charter.
Now here's a game. Valpo crushed Crown Point 56-21. Both Perkins and Thompson ran for 3 touchdowns each. They had over 350 yards on the ground. It was just total domination. What do you think? Valpo's an up-and-coming team.
Well, they got their stud QB back.
Well, he didn't play in this game.
He didn't play.
No, he didn't play. He still didn't play.
What the heck? What's wrong with him?
Well,
All right. Well, anyway, I guess their offensive line's starting to gel. They're running a lot of that Wildcat, which is just killing teams. And 2 speedsters back at running back.
It's a hard offense to stop when you have those kind of weapons. So, yeah, a big win for Valpo. South Central, 48-0 over Lake Station. No surprise there. Whiting comes up with a win against North Newton, 23-12. Roosevelt, that's why I'm wearing the shirt. My Panthers came up with their first victory of the season. They beat Lou Wallace.
Big victory.
I was very impressed. Good job, Roosevelt.
First and only victory of the year.
It was the only game I didn't get right this week, but that's all right. Roosevelt deserved it. I'm happy for him. Gavitt, big win over Lawlemere, 45-14. And KV's coming on. They don't want to give up that megaphone, so they thought, well, maybe if we can beat North Judson, they would let us, reconsider. But we're not going to. We're still taking it back. 34-14, they came back. They ran for almost 300 yards. They scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to come back in that game, Joe.
It's a heck of a comeback. I picked the Jays to win that.
You thought the Blue Jays would come back. And West Side, big win over Chicago Charter. It was so bad they didn't even want to show up.
They were scared.
I wouldn't doubt it. Okay. We didn't do a recap video last week. Wayne actually beat me last week. The Clark East Chicago game, I thought East Chicago could do it. They didn't. This week, Wayne misses 1 game the entire week, and that was the game I got him on. Bishop Knoll over Calumet 6-0. So we're going to give a mark for each one of those games. So through 6 weeks of action, JT 4, Wayne 2.
JT can ice it this week with a big W.
I'm hoping so, dude. All
right.
right.
Not playoffs, but.
Okay, now let's go to our big games. The big 3. Maryville against LaPorte.
Thought it'd be a lot closer than that, but.
I didn't really think so.
Well, I thought at least LaPorte would be able to score, but apparently now they couldn't even get 100 yards of offense.
it was just total domination. Maryville, it kind of took them a little while to get started, but basically the second half, Maryville just absolutely ran right through them. I think they ran for over 300 yards on the ground, or about 300 yards. And yeah, like you said, the Port can't sustain drives. Your defense is going to be out in the field. They're going to get tired, and Denzel's going to make you pay for that. So Maryville, big 31-0 win over the Port Slicers. Another game. This is a bit of an upset. I thought it could happen. You didn't see it that way. Griffith 7-6 over Munster.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely an upset. I didn't see that happening. I mean, Munster's got a very talented player. They got a nice defense. They got a nice sophomore quarterback, but it wasn't enough to beat the Griffith Panthers.
It really came down to defense in that game. Griffith, they had a lot of sacks, interceptions, turnovers. They made big plays defensively when they needed to. And of course they got their stud, Ed Johnson back, and he proved to be I think he got a pick on defense.
Yeah, Big Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, Griffith's an up-and-coming team, and you know what? If you would have asked me about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I would have thought Griffith would make this kind of a turnaround. I'd say no way. I would say there's no chance they could beat Munster, but I think what Griffith has done, I think we owe them this megaphone.
We gotta give it to them.
So I don't know if you know where their high school is, but I think you need to drive to their school and give them.
Off like Ridge Road somewhere.
Somewhere.
I
I haven't been there. I've never been to the Boneyard. It's like the building big.
I haven't been to the Boneyard.
But you know what? Griffith won the game. How much time we got?
We got a good 3 minutes left here.
All right. Good 3 minutes to talk about the game of the week, Chesterton and Portage. Portage came into this game fired up. They got up a quick 2-score lead, 14-0, and basically, Chesterton just started grinding the ball out, just pounding the ball at them. They scored 24 unanswered points. Well, they did end up getting answered, but Portage made a lot of mistakes later in the game.
Had a lot of penalties too.
Yeah, penalties. They had opportunities. I mean, but they never adjusted. They never adjusted defensively.
They don't ever adjust defensively. It's probably one of the worst coaching staffs in the area.
They caught a big break late in the game. Chesterton was driving. They had they were up 31-28, and they were just going to try to kill the clock. And they out of nowhere they throw a pass, and Drew Keel gets a pick in the end zone, and that gives Portage some new life.
About 2-3 minutes left in the game,
and then that big 4th down pass to Fisher, 4th and 12, they gained like 20 yards on that. They kept the drive alive. They kept trying to run the ball down there, and they finally got down there with 6 seconds. They're on the 13-yard line, and it looked like from the snap, it looked like Houston wasn't ready for the ball. It seemed like some guys weren't going full speed, but basically he just scrambled and tried running towards the end zone. He got tackled in bounds, and that's how the game ended. But it was a really good football game. What do you think? What was your assessment?
It was definitely a good game. It just sucks because Portage, they have a lot of good players, definitely more talented players than Chesterton. But I mean, look what happens when you got bad coaching. When you have bad coaching, you have bad football.
There's a tremendous difference in speed. But where it counts, in the trenches, Portage just doesn't have that. They just don't have enough toughness.
Yeah, it took four tries to get in from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I mean that's not going to cut it, and you're not going to go anywhere when you play like that. So. Chesterton comes with a big one. Let's go through our top 10 though, Joe.
Our top 10 this
Brand
week.
new top 10. Didn't have one last week, but we made
Starting here at the bottom, number 10, the Munster Mustangs. Moving on to the list, the Griffith Panthers. Number 9. Wheeler comes up to number 8.
There you go.
And another team that gets back up on the list, the Valpo Vikings. They're going to make a run for it.
Yeah, telling me.
6, Andrean. Chesterton at 5. The Governors at 4.
Good.
And Michigan City, who might not be there too much
longer.
They're
clinging to that number 3
They're holding on. The Red Devils at 2, and then looks like the unbeatable Pirates at number 1.
It's so hard to go through the DAC undefeated. I'm really interested to see if they can do it.
Well, this week's going to be a definite big test for them. Tune in later. We're going to have our nice picks. We're going to go over the Maryville-Valpo game this week. It's going to be definitely the game of the week.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Maybe even another surprise game on the horizon.
Hurt and turn the camera off.
Ah!